Needed day 2 of the Galway Festival. Great to be here in Ayr Square. Another year comes around to the Galway Festival.
Yeah, I've great memories riding in Galway and Ballybrit, and obviously coming back into the town after, and the crack was mighty, and it's just a great occasion. For a week you're here, and we used to move for the week and come here and have the crack and enjoy the races, and it's a special place to be.
It is, and it's a real meeting point. You know, midsummer everybody comes here to the western of Ireland. You can run into people you haven't seen from one year to the other, if you like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can meet anyone here. That's it. And it's just, I think it's occasion that the whole country kind of comes down. If they're into racing, they want to be a part of it.
Exactly, get down for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Your earliest memories of the racing on the track? I remember Paul, your brother, of course, winning on Stroll Home.
Yeah.
An iconic picture at the second last fence where he's down like a flat jockey going over a fence.
Yeah, amazing. That was great. I was probably only 10, and that was a brilliant day. We were all there, and he rode Anzar then to win the plate, and great memories, and I was delighted to ride a few winners there myself and be a part of it.
Yeah, and any winner in Galway gets a lot of traction. You get a lot of publicity through the week, and your initial winner there, can you remember it?
My initial winner there, I actually can't remember my first one. That's terrible. But I remember
Night out after.
I remember actually getting a few spins for Dermot Well, which is what you always wanted to do, and I actually rode 3 winners for him and a winner for Noel. So I was heading into the last day leading jockey with 2 seconds under my belt. So I said, this is great, I have it. Sure doesn't Ruby going, we have 2 winners on the last day. So that ruined that dream of being champion jockey at Galway.
And to get that run through the week, I always found when I was riding there, if you get one winner, 'cause 7 days, long week, if you can just get one out of the way, pressure's off almost.
Totally, like, you have to ride a winner in Galway. Like, you know what I mean? It's terrible. Like, if you don't come out of it, it's depressing. But to ride a winner there and get the pressure off is unbelievable.
And when you ride for trainers like Dermot Well and Noel Mead, you mentioned, they target this meeting, so there's an expectation that they need to have success here. The year is almost built around it for them.
Most definitely, yeah, definitely. Dermot Well, you'd always have, you'd be clocking up the winners up to nearly, 15, 17 winners he'd be having, and if he didn't have that, it was a bad year, so now Willie Mullen's kind of taken over now, but no, it's how times change, and no, but I just love the atmosphere here and in the town. It's brilliant, especially the nightlife as well. We always took part in that. I'm sure we never seen you there. Flat jockeys.
And your friends back then, or your friends now, of course, Katie Walsh you rode with, was it your little own clique in the way room that you had that you used to pal around with?
Yeah, we had a big gang of us. We used to rent the Carberry village. It was student accommodation. There would be about 20 of us in one apartment. And that's what we did. We just all came down for the week. We didn't even want to miss Monday. And so I presume the generation coming along will be probably doing similar, but in a different spot.
The track, it's unique.
Oh yeah, it's a marvellous track to ride around. It's obviously, it takes no prisoners either. You have to get it right. You can't kick too early. I've done it before myself, and always it's you're very vulnerable going up that hill on your own.
It's a tough lesson to get.
Yeah, no, it's not an easy track, but once you get the hang of it and you're riding for the right trainers, it's brilliant.
Take a little bit of a breather here in Ayr Square, and when you look around it, there's a lot of memories, a lot of history to the whole place over the years.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Supermax there. I'll never forget, they had the best chicken fillet burgers ever after you'd head home from the hole in the wall. But and obviously the Salt Hill, where I don't know if you've ever...
I couldn't eat the burgers, so...
No, you couldn't. Yeah. You were gone home in your bed, Fran. But no, I remember jumping off the pier at Salt Hill. That was really, really cool, and obviously still there to this day. And what other little landmarks? I can't even think. But they were the ones that stood out for me.
It was kind of like a trio, like you had Supermax, Ayr Square. The hole in the wall was the go-to place to meet everybody back in the day, if you like. Yeah. And it's kind of changed a bit now. I was here last year, and Shop Street is the place to go now. It just seems to flow from one to the other, but maybe that's an age thing. Yeah,
I think 2 kids now. I'm not spending the week obviously down here anymore, but it'll be interesting to see where all the gang go now.
Very much so. How long are you retired now?
Oh, I'm retired since 2018, so a couple of years now. You were after me, were you?
2019, yes.
2019,
yeah, just
another year.
Early 2019, yes. Yeah. And since then, life has taken a few turns that unexpectedly, but in a really good way.
Yeah. Obviously, I missed the racing at the start. It's very hard to just come out of something that you've been so involved with for like a good few years of your life. And I think when you stop riding out in yards and stop having the association with the horses that you probably could have been riding, that's when it starts to eventually go from your blood that you really want to ride again. So I feel that's gone now, but obviously Dance with the Stars and Fittest Families have come along and have given me kind of a new angle on I suppose, from my racing career.
How did Dance to the Stars come along?
Yeah, I was lucky enough. My husband Ted, he put me in touch with one of his friends was an agent, so he put me forward for it. Unwantedly, want me to do it, but
there was a running joke. Your drunk Carberry was on stage.
Yeah, you're right. It should have been Paul all along, but whether he would have been able to do the cha-cha now would be a different story. As you know yourself.
And to get into that routine, how tough was it, and how much out of your comfort zone was it initially, at least?
Yeah, it was very hard, to be honest, Fran. I was scared. I was more scared, and I was lighting up in the Grand National, to be honest, than going out and dancing. I swear to God, it was the most scariest thing I've ever done. But as weeks went on, I got better at it, and I had a brilliant dance partner in Pasquale. And yeah, obviously, I have a lot to thank for being a jockey. It's given me a lot to help me along the way, like being resilient, like taking criticism. That was one thing you had to be able to have.
Public criticism.
Yeah,
as well. Very
like
public,
you had to be out there to be criticised, and that was one thing that definitely helped me from being a jockey.
So when you go off stage the first weekend, what are you thinking? Are you just like as low as it gets, or are you just this is only the beginning, I'm going to get better at this? Or?
Yeah, like obviously I was only thinking that I'd be in there for a couple of weeks, so it was like grand, get 1 week overdone at a time. But yeah, when you look at how far I went, it was an amazing journey, and how far I got to, and it was brilliant. It was a great journey, and I learned a lot from it, to be honest.
As a dancer and as a person, I'd say.
Mentally, I think, obviously being a jockey, you have to be mentally tough as well, and fit, but that really came to light in the dancing, that I really needed to be. There's so many times you want to give up, so many times, and it really tests you the whole way.
It's a different stage now compared to when you're riding. Even social media back in the day, you know, you get away without getting beaten one, you wouldn't get too much criticism. But with the dancing now, it's a totally different beast, and the social media end of it, did you find that tough at any times, or was it all positive?
Yeah, obviously, no, it was, thank God I was doing well enough that I didn't get too criticised, but obviously you're out there for like, you know, to be criticised, but it's something that it took a while to get my head around, because Pasquale was always quite pushing me. You have to do this, you have to do this, and he was right. Like, you know, the people want to see you doing and how you're getting on, but that took a while to get my head around that.
And balancing family life and that.
Yeah, that was very hard. Yeah, I only see my girls probably for an hour a day, and no weekend, so that was gone for 4 months. So it's a lot, but we're here now, and it's not too bad.
We are indeed, and weeks like this riding, do you miss it, or you just think you had your time, or do you feel like I'd love to be out there yesterday in the big amateur handicap having a go? Yeah,
obviously these are the days that you want to be a part of it all, and when you watch the race jumping off, I always remember the times and the experience I had with it. I was second in it twice in that big handicap yesterday, and no, I obviously don't want to be there, but I miss the times I was there, yeah.
And when you look back on your career in total, it was some journey.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was like there's nothing that I would swap that what went on, and how much the experience I got out of it, and how much it's helped me going forward. And
you worked with some fantastic trainers. Noel Meade was a huge part of your life, but you also worked for Aidan O'Brien for a length of time as well.
Yeah.
Different characters, but both very good at what to do, obviously.
Yeah, totally different characters. Like, Noel's so social, but like, not to say that Aidan isn't, but he's married to the yard, you know, he doesn't leave, and totally two different characters, but learned so much from the two of them.
And as regards to your future career with horse, where are you at now?
Buying and selling as much as I can. It's not an easy game, but we're keeping at it, and yeah, it's not too bad. I love it though. Like, it's nice to keep my foot in the door and being with horses. And
the two girls, are they into ponies?
They are, yeah. Rosie had her first camp the other day, so she's delighted with herself.
With her cousins?
There's a few of them there, and she really enjoys it. So Holly's starting to get going. She's only 3 now, so starting young.
It's always a big week for young riders to come to the fore. A big winner win the big mile handicap, win a Galway hurl. Paul Townend broke out when he won on Indian Pace back in the day. Couple of jockeys that have caught your eye in recent times that you have been impressed by? Yeah,
I obviously with Shane Cross retiring, I think Dylan Brown was going to have a really big opening for him, and I thought he's got a really good head on his shoulders, and over jumps, I think Danny Gilligan, I think he could be one to watch as well.
He's come a long way in a short space of time, hasn't he, from riding for Gordon Elliott?
Like, you know, there is space for a young claimer to come through, and definitely if you're with Gordon, you're gonna fly.
If you had one race that you'd love to ride in again, or your favourite race in Galway, what would it be?
Oh, the plate. Like, definitely. I rode in it once. I rode for Noel. Cross appeal. I think you might have won on him as well.
I did on a flat in Sligo. Yes, yeah.
Brilliant spin around. I finished fourth on him, and
it was in the black sleeves, wasn't he?
Yeah. Course colours, and no, had a great spin on him. And if I had it all over again, I'd love to have won that race. But I always love watching the plate. It's great speed.
When you walk into the weigh room on occasions now, if you do walk in, do you see a big change in the weigh room from what it was when you're back riding, or is it just the same? Show keeps rolling on.
The show keeps rolling on. There's younger people coming in, and as you know yourself, it keeps going, and it's great to see a few more girls as well riding as well. And obviously all the younger people are trying to make their names for themselves and get going. But it's always interesting to see younger guys riding and getting the chances.
Rachel Blackmore, when she started off, was she surprised to you when she started riding in bumpers and point to points? You came across her to turn professional. It looked to me at the time like a big move. Yeah, it was a big move, but I suppose she'd nothing to lose by turning. She'd done anything to gain. She was riding light. She was going to have the experience. So it was, when you look back on it, it was probably the best decision. Obviously, it was the best decision she ever made, but she wasn't getting the chances as an amateur, so it was the best decision she ever made. And of course, Nina, the way the calendar has developed now, most codes are gone flat jumps only, no mixed meetings anymore. We'll get back to Galway, it is still mixed meetings. It's a real clash of different styles of approach to the job, and you get to see riders you haven't seen from one end of the year to the other in a weigh room capacity. Yeah, and that's it. Like, we all get to mingle together, but we'd never see the flat jockeys out with us, Fran. Like, what was the story? Why just go home? Like, we were always there. Just so dedicated. And in comparison to, I suppose, the jump season, it's nearly like a lull period for you this week, and for the flat, it's still ticketing. So you got to get back to ride work. And an excuse, you're just too light. You're lightweight. You're lightweight. Exactly. And I'm to lose 5 pounds next morning was never fun. So. You could have done that on the wall. The sweat would be dripping off you. Yeah, Supermax was always a problem though. Oh yeah, probably was, yeah.